Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid, rules could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play those karmic themes to help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Very important, especially when you're dealing with a person that wears masks, create facades. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box, including the word of the video. You'll want to know the word of the video if ever you wanted to enter into winning a free reading with me. Every day, you have an opportunity to enter. All you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. We're going to jump right on in this evening. Just know anything of any importance or relevance, again, my website link, social media link, my coaching link, everything is in that description box. Not just the word of the video, but the directions. Again, if you enter into winning a free reading, you'll want to go to the description box to read the directions on what to do to get that free reading. All right, let's see what the word is. The word is insecurity. Insecurity. I'm feeling like you're dealing with a person. Well, you're actually not dealing with a person. You're in separation from someone that's afraid to face you. And they're afraid to face you because I'm feeling that they're seeing things from a very different perception. See, when you were dealing with this person, they were very arrogant. They were very self-righteous. They were very one-sided, my way or the highway. They created this facade that they were so important, that they were so desirable. And really, I feel like that this person doesn't, like, they showed you really a facade. That's not really who they are. They created illusions because they don't really like who they are. Anyone that's insecure doesn't believe in themselves. This person doesn't believe in themselves. The person that doesn't believe in themselves doesn't like themselves, doesn't trust themselves. So I'm feeling like you're in connection from someone that created this persona because they don't like themselves, but in it, they didn't realize that they were shutting you out at the same time. And I know that that sounds crazy, but it's almost like this person is actually used to dealing with lower vibration, so tends to only give breadcrumbs, but it never mattered before. It's like, it didn't matter to them because they don't really form emotional connections, but also, they outgrow. Usually, everything was always superficial. This is not a superficial connection. They feel the connection is deep. It makes them feel. It makes them go inside of themselves. It triggers them because of past experiences and just a lot of other things that go on inside of them. So you're dealing with somebody that if you were to run into them now, you wouldn't recognize them. Let's see what they did. They withdrew. I feel like they would purposely do that. It's like they emotionally had a hard time being transparent and just connecting to you. It's like I feel like this person's not used of those type of connections. They're here for a good time, not a long time. This, their relationships usually go really fast, meaning like there's a very short get to know you, maybe like one night dinner, and then they're sleeping with the person, and then the relationship's over. This is not that. This is where months have gone by, where there's a strong connection, but nothing's happened. But, this person's not walking away from the connection. It's like, even though they're not getting anything, they're still connected energetically. And so they don't realize that they're feeding the connection because it's your thoughts and your emotions that feed something. How do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. So this person is, you know, energetically connected to you, but they're not doing anything because they're insecure. And so, and when you were hanging out with them, it's they didn't like you in emotionally because they were afraid that they would lose themselves. And so what they would do is every time they would get close, too close, they would leave. So they were coming in and out of your life, weaving in and out of your life. You know, that emotional manipulation by intermittent manipulation, which it was their way of being in control. It was their way of having the relationship unfold the way that they wanted the relationship to unfold because they have trust issues. They don't realize that the focus is on trust issues. So they have intimacy issues. They didn't trust you. They weren't going to be transparent to you. Their way was to control you, to dominate you by doing it through intermittent manipulation, which is emotional abuse, which actually does create paranoia. It creates a lot more psychological issues when you're connected to someone that comes in and out of your life. So again, it just you got to the point where you're like you just couldn't continue. It's like between them emotionally withdrawing. So again, having difficult conversations with this person, they were avoidant. So again, anything that was going to build a connection with the foundation of a connection, trust is built over time, nurturing the connection, and that this person, like anytime that it got difficult, they avoided it in order to not build a strong connection to you, but they already have a strong connection to you, but they were giving the illusion that they were in control. And again, making you try to be dependent on them with the intermittent manipulation. And so you just got to a point where were resentful. You got resentful because you're like, I'm not in a connection with somebody that gives nothing. That gives nothing on an emotional level. They want to compartmentalize. It's like you feel like they want a physical connection, but they don't want that emotional connection because they're afraid for the relationship to get too deep. So they continue to sabotage the connection. Because over time, like you get angry because the person's not reliable. They're not showing up for you because it depends on their mood. It depends on, again, whether it's going to trigger them or not. So let's see again what they think. What they think now. And then with another deck, we'll look and see what they're doing and what they're going to do. Our story isn't over yet. This person feels like, again, they're insecure to come towards you, but there's still a want and a desire. I abandon people to make myself more important. There has been realization why they did what they did, make themselves more important. Again, they wanted you to chase them. They wanted you to be subservient to them. They wanted you to desire them. That's why they played all those games. I feel you. Again, because they're really tapped into, like I said, their focus is on you. I love you. This is really what they feel. So again, we'll see what they're going to do, however, because just because like a person feels this way, like I said, they're insecure. So we want to look at like some of the behaviorisms of what they're doing. That one, that's too many. Normally it would take one or two, but not like 10. Okay, let's see. Where is this person right now? What are they doing? What are they doing? Well, they tend to be impulsive. And I feel like there is this past life connection that they realize that. So I think that emotional bond made them feel as if you had some sort of control over them. So I do believe that this person tried to escape it, again, withdraw from you, avoid you, and have relationships with other people that they were able to dominate. But again, it was mainly that compartmentalizing, and it's because it's this person doesn't feel really confident enough unless, they're in control. Otherwise, they feel too vulnerable. And I feel like you wouldn't do it. And part of this person likes to play dirty. They're like, well, in order to get what they want, they will emotionally manipulate. We know that between the coming in and out of your life, triggering abandonment issues. Again, they're not paying attention to your feelings. They're paying attention to theirs, because when they again are connected to you and the relationship goes deep, well, it's overstimulating to them, and it's overstimulated to them because they don't have good memories around relationships because of the way that they are. This just happens to be a past life connection where they can't walk away from it. It's like they have those passionate feelings. They really truly feel that their relationship isn't over because they can feel you. Again, with a past life connection, they're gonna always have a connection to you, but they're insecure. So it comes out in sabotaging behavior of hooking up with random people to, make themselves feel good so that they're not caving to you, so that they don't feel so insecure. That's really what it is. It's like, but this person has sabotaged themselves. So again, all about their self-reflection and afraid of rejection, because again, there's a feeling of lack. And that lack is I'm not good enough. Not just I don't have enough. It might also be reflected in how much they have. But money is, again, it's just an energy. It's the energy we give it. And if the person feels like, hey, they're not enough, or again, they've created facades, and it's, again, this person does create facades. They create a facade that they're very secure and that they don't care and that they don't need love to create this self-image. But what we know is again, they use sex, these insignificant hookups as a way for them to escape, again, because they feel a lack, and really without having to build a very strong, deep, intimate connection to you, because again, they already have an emotional connection. So every time it gets very, very it's like they feel like they can't control it. They feel like they're not going to be able to control it. What they do then is they pull away, and it's because of rejection. They're afraid of rejection, but they do love you, but they're not healed. So this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a person that, you know, is filled with anger and stress because things don't work out for them. This person projects their anger and their stress because, again, anything to protect the self-image. This is a past life connection. They have no control. So I'm feeling like this person, it just really needs to heal their inner child. They have trauma from, again, inherited, like family trauma, again, inherited family patterns, where I feel like someone in their family just was a cheater, was someone in their family had emotional, issues where they couldn't open up. They were never really transparent. They was, I feel like they could have been someone that was a very good provider, was someone that showed their love through acts of doing, but they couldn't really like express it in words. And, and over time, just didn't put in enough effort in their relationships because they didn't heal. If especially if person's impulsive, meaning like, guess what? And that means any person that this person finds attractive. And let's just say you have a misunderstanding that day, then this person's going to cheat. And it's again, that's what they were taught. Again, this is inherited trauma. But really, at the root of it, it's because when this person was young, they didn't get the love and the support that they needed because their parents were, again, going through this type of situation, which is, usually a trauma bond. Get into relationships with people, which it turns into like karmic contracts, where people are held together, but not by love, by obligation. And then you have one person that cheats all the time, and the other person that emotionally doesn't get anything. And so the person that cheats starts in and out of life, and they're not happy because, again, they're not really fulfilled. They're bound to that person through guilt and obligation. And it's not a good situation. It's like it's inherited, and it's inherited family karma where, listen, it's held together with resentment because, you're dealing with a person that avoids situations. So, you're constantly getting abandoned because they can't show up for themselves because of this healing. They're imbalanced. So they came from imbalance and they're still imbalanced. So that's the situation with them, and why they do what they do. It's like, do they have feelings? Yes. However, it doesn't matter that they have feelings because as long as they are walking around with this family karma that they really need to heal, and it's the habits and the behaviorisms, and again, sabotaging behaviorisms, which is all about sex to be in control, to feel good, to feel the ego. It becomes an addiction, and that the person's not building an emotional connection with anyone because they don't trust that. They're afraid of that. So they create this illusion that they're this person where really it's, again, they need healing. But again, the past life connection means that there's love there. But understand this person, again, will have to, again, shatter that self-image in order for this connection to even work. And that's because, again, they created that persona, and the persona was to protect them. They don't need love, again, that they're this tough person, but they're not. And so this is where they are, what they're thinking too. It's like this person realizes that a lot of their problems are rooted in their childhood, from their childhood. Like, this is all I've ever known. They don't know how to heal it, though. That's the issue. So in the fact of not knowing how to heal it and not being transparent enough to tell anyone that they need to heal it, they suffer in silence because they don't know how they can fix it. They don't know. So we'll go even deeper. And see what else that they're feeling. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours in the 3D. I'm afraid I could lose myself in this relationship. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that? Every time the relationship gets deep, anytime the relationship gets like deep, this person like sabotages it. They get in their own way. They're afraid that they're going to lose themselves But then again, not just lose themselves, but then what if you don't want them? Then again, what they just know that it wouldn't be a good thing. But this person is listening to their higher self now, and and the higher power is guiding them, which is really all of what this is about. It's about healing. You know, soul relationships make us do that. So this is a past life karmic need, but here it is that you were not with this person. They darted in and out of your life. They played games. You didn't follow along, or settle for less than what you deserved. And this person is being put in a position to heal. I've never felt love like this before. The depth of it can be inspiring, but it's very overwhelming for this person. It's intense. So again, they need healing, and here it is. They didn't believe in love, and here it is. It's like they have love, and it's intense. They can't control it. They tried to. They tried to control it, and what happened is it bit them in the ass. But it didn't just do that. It brought them to a place of needing to heal. It's making them realize, wow, I really have feelings. I'm feeling controlled by people around me and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. And this person didn't have a good sense of self and probably still don't. And that's another reason why they didn't come towards you. So they might be really close with their family, and they can't do anything without their mother telling them, or their dad, or again, just people. And over time, that's what happens. The people that in the environment that are giving you all this advice begin to believe that you need it. And, this person already is not strong in themselves. So again, they're afraid of losing themselves in you. And the reason why is because the people that are around them don't have boundaries, because this person doesn't establish those boundaries, so they feel like either they can have a very strong relationship or they can't have any relationship at all. Like it's got to be codependent. With you, they still feel that energetic connection. They still feel you're around, even though you're not around. So there's this intense love that they just can't shut off, but you're not even around. You're not telling them what to do. It's making them look for you. It's making them do the healing, which is what soul relationships do. This person needed the healing. That doesn't mean that you didn't need the healing. You need healing too, because like goes to like, but it's showing what's going on with your person and why they acted the way they did from their persona. Really, Spirit says it's all about, like, there's a bigger reason why you two are connected. Again, as we go deeper, find out that you incarnated together to clear specific patterns from your ancestral bloodline, which is what they said. This person's not strong because, again, the environment that they grew up in. Surrender brings us together faster than resistance. Again, these are like just realizations that this person's having. I've been giving my power away to people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries again. Like it's all about this person learning how to do that for themselves so that they know how to do it with you, so that they don't lose themselves. They think that by staying away from you and controlling the energy of how much they give, that's not it. It's like, because the moment that they're going to spend any time with you is the moment that they're going to get in their own way, because the emotions are going to be so deep. They're going to be overstimulating and overwhelming for this person. So it's about being in each other's lives, but being able to set boundaries and having a life of your own, where this person is learning how to do that, because what they're seeing is it's like, they want to have a life with you, but they don't see how they can have a life with you and be controlled by the people in their life. And they're not happy with people in their life controlling them. And I feel like it's family, but it could be, anybody. It could be a karmic, it could be like it could be friends, it could be, like I said, family, the people in their job. It's just the people that are overstepping their boundary because they don't have enough of a life. And so if the person's seen as single, then it's like, oh, you're always available. You don't have really a life, where really it's again, if we're busy in our life and even if we're alone, it's people don't assume that you're just going to be available for them. This sense of not being respected, this person not being respected, because again, they don't know how to set appropriate boundaries. They lose themselves in other people's energy than when they build an emotional connection. And they have a very strong emotional connection to you and they can't control it. They tried to, which is why this connection looked the way that it did. So now here it is. It's like got in their own way. And after all of it, this person still has feelings for you. That's making them heal. It's again, I know this is more than a relationship and that there is a higher purpose to this, to our connection. Well, there's definitely a spiritual one. It's to heal. That's for sure. Making this person do healing. I feel insecure and it's pushing me to grow. It's all about healing. So this is what is happening right now, where this person's not really on the level that they need to be security wise to be able to be secure enough to be in a relationship, but they're doing the healing in order to be right now. So this person says, I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it, but know that I do want to talk to you. So this person, like I said, is setting boundaries, but understand in that, when people are used to getting what they want, and then all of a sudden you have to set boundaries, you know what happens. People get pissed off. They're like, oh, you're not going to do that for me now? Like, I can't just treat you however now. It's like this person cared so little about themselves that they don't understand that they were teaching people how they wanted to be treated by how they were treating themselves. So now it's again their love for you, the feelings that they have for you. They're like, they want more for themselves because they want a life. Well, that's a problem for all the people that are in their life that they're dependent on. Like I said, I feel like it's family, and this person could go food shopping for everybody. They could be spending all their money and they're utilizing their resources. It becomes expected where the person was not happy for a long time, but now they're not able to get out of that situation because they've already been doing it for so long. Then you come along. You come along, that shows them a different perception, shows them a different way of that life could possibly be. But they didn't really think that they could have it. So they still tried to be in control. But in that, it sabotaged the connection. What they see is that they still have these feelings. There's still this desire, but understand in them actually being like in order for the connection to be successful, they would have to do all the healing. And that's again, whole purpose of this connection is healing. And you say from their situation, well, I feel like your situation too. I mean, we just look at it from a different perception. Like this person is afraid, by the way, that you are going to meet someone before they're ready to be with you for good. But if it's true love, you won't. That's the whole lesson. That unconditional love is just that. It means, we may not like what's going on, but or how the person handles things or what the person does, but the love is still there. That love transcends all of that. So again, and that's healing. We have to say again why we do attract this person into your life. What were the lessons that you need to learn? What are you supposed to do with the energy? We pull and we see, and first part out, physical touch. So no, as a child, you didn't get the emotional needs. This physical touch is associated with emotional support. Nurturing, you didn't get that. And that's abusive when you're a child. Children need that for healthy development. Crafts and creativity. I feel like that's many children that emotionally don't get what they need. There isn't any support, and that's what this is. And anger is support. They become very creative because they got to put their time and energy somewhere. So, creative could be anything from drawing to just playing. Rebellious, oppression, and overwhelmed. So again, like when we grow up in an environment where emotionally we're not getting what we need, because again, someone's keeping us down. Well, it taught you to be like a rebel, because I feel like you didn't just go along with it. Like you tried to like still, you know, live your truth. But it's not that it's easy though when it's your parent that's like that was oppressing you. But and especially since you didn't have an anchor, like that anchor is no support, no support, so no emotional backing. So again, you were seen as rebellious. So and the family would see you as bad and not be there, not give you this support, not give you the emotional support, like not be available for you because hey, you're doing your own thing and they didn't like it. So understand it made you feel very overwhelmed. The relationship was overwhelmed. It's like there was unnecessary burdens that were put on the relationship. Almost like in order to get the emotional support that you needed, you'd have to be subservient. In order to get that support, you know, you'd have to go along with being oppressed, kept down, dimming your light. That's very overwhelming again. So you betrayed. I do believe that you escaped through your creativity. Now that it could be anything creativity, it's the creative way of thinking. It could be through drawing, through a craft, through some sort of talent. And so again, that made you different from everyone else because you show people a different perception of how to live, which is out thinking outside the box, which emotionally you gave to yourself. That's the only way you could heal is to give it to yourself, is to be rebellious, to give it to yourself, to go up against the grain, because the people in the environment were not giving it to you. Love was transactional. Where understand, like you chose to be on your path. It's the road that's less traveled. So people are not going to understand your path. And part of the path for you is healing. And it's healing from not having support, not emotionally getting what you need, and you giving it to yourself through, again, being on your path. It's one that's less traveled because most people don't do what emotionally is satisfying to them. They do what logically makes sense. You get a job that pays X amount of money, that does this, that does that, it looks good on paper. And then you take your vacations and you have fun during those times with vacations. Instead of that, you do what you love, then life is always like a vacation. It's very different, but it makes you love yourself more. Empowering soul, it makes you empowered, where spirit says, hey, acknowledge what you have already overcome in your life and go with conviction, like go create your life. Again, because a lot of times you can't heal on your own. When you're on your path, that's what helps you heal, because the universe conspires to bring you people, situations, and experiences that change your mind and your heart about how you perceive yourself, about who you are. Again, where you're able to look at your situation from a much different perception, and like this, love, to see that love through a different perception. That is not easy. That is, but it's fulfilling, even though it's hard, even though it's messy. And harmony within, to balance the mind, body, and spirit. It's to help you integrate all facets of life during this time. So Spirit's saying it's like, this person wants to come back. They're going to build their confidence eventually to come back. Because what they're realizing is that they can't control their feelings for you. It's like, and what you need to do is, again, continue to be on your path. And again, as you're on your path, you're making sure that you're filling your cup up all the way. Then you're able to have a good perception to see whether this person is going to be the right person for you. You're going to, again, be in a place where you're not going to lose yourself in them, and they're not going to lose themselves in you. But they're healing. The connection is all about that. It's like it's making them do the healings, and then they want to come right back. But they're concerned you might meet someone before their process is over. But if it's a divine connection, which what we see that it is, you're not. It's again, Spirit keeps both parties busy. And what we see is, it's like, you're going to be busy, and you're busy on your path, again, giving yourself the emotional fulfillment that you didn't get. You're on your path and finding harmony within, because that's what it's about. It's about being at peace with yourself so that you can be at peace with someone else that comes into your life. This person is learning. You are learning. You're both in a place of healing and learning to love yourselves, to give you both are learning to reparent yourselves, to give you what your parents never gave you guys. That's the phase that you're in, but they're planning on coming back. That's what we're on a spiritual level. This person really does have feelings, even though what we saw on the surface was a lot of BS. We saw a lot of bullshit, them coming in and out, them like not wanting to get close, them not wanting to lose themselves within you, not build the emotional connection, just real pain in the ass energy. But again, now we see the reason why though. And so Spirit says it's all about learning unconditional love. Okay, you can't control this. They can't control it. Spirit says your heart is free from resentment towards others. Open your eyes of your heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. Be aware that suffering causes distress and it hurts people. And see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So again, Spirit's saying, when this person comes back, Spirit says, if this is a real divine counterpart, you're going to want to forgive. And that's what this is about. Forgiving. You can't go back in time and have your parents do things differently. However, this person triggered all those feelings of rejection and abandonment because, again, they didn't want to get close, but it's about holding space and forgiving that person. That's what builds intimacy. That's what builds trust. And that's what's going to make the relationship strong. But this is a divine connection, even if you say, I don't like what it looks like. divine connections, there's a lot of times the two are in separation, but during those times, the bond is just as strong, if not building stronger. And both parties are healing themselves, making themselves into a better version for not just their partner, but for ultimately themselves and collectively, so that they can contribute to humanity the way that God intended every single human being to be able to do, to be an expression of love, so that they could be abundant. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon.